Good evening, YouTube. We are going to continue on here with part 5 of the, what is this? Study of the Tarot. We are still in the Major Arcana. Part 4, we ended with the Wheel of Fortune, and here we are about to begin with the Justice card. All right, here's the Justice card. Arcanum 11. Zodiac affinity is Libra. Keywords. See, let's set it up like that. Okay. Well, I'll just put it down here. You saw it. Okay. Let me adjust this. Bring it down some more. All right. Keywords. Fairness, harmony, equality, cause and effect. Key phrases: objective thinking restores balance, interaction and communication are essential, accepting the truth, taking responsibility for your choices, making decisions, looking at both sides of the argument, and sexual equality. Interpretation: what is fair to one person may not be so to another, but when you draw this card, you are being reminded to take a very rational view of the situation or issue at stake. How involved are you emotionally? Can you see the wood for the trees, or do you believe that someone else is being unfair or judgmental? Justice asks us to look logically and objectively at ourselves, to find the whole truth and nothing but the truth, even if it means recognizing that we have made mistakes and thus must make amends accordingly. What it also says is that you ought not to be judgmental about your actions or intentions or those of others. You may find this card turning up when a decision is to be made, and if it is in the you now position, you will be able to do so with a more rational viewpoint than you thought. As a past card, it implies you have got what you deserve. You have accepted that the situation is now as it is because of what you said, did, or didn't do in the past. But now things are set to improve. Whatever the results of a series of events, things will now begin to work out for you if you are truly honest and take responsibility for your choices. Legal issues, settlements, debts paid, lawyers, and other official systems are often signified by this card in a future position and will have a successful outcome. Okay, so you're hearing about the positions. Okay, you now, past, etc., etc. Of course, as I said before, it depends on the layout you use, the spread that you use. Okay. If you are seeking a new romance, drawing this card indicates that you'll get what you truly deserve, or a charming diplomatic admirer will soon come into your life. The scales of cosmic balance. Okay. Next we have the Hanged Man. Arcanum 12. Zodiac affinity, Neptune. Keywords: transition, readjustment, limbo, paradox. Key phrases: sacrifice may be necessary, bored with life, anticipation of progress, static relationship, seeing life from a different angle, changing priorities, relinquishing control, take a step back to move forward. Interpretation: one of the most mysterious cards in the tarot. The Hanged Man is paradoxical, mysterious, and imbued with the frustration of trying to solve a cryptic crossword. The simplest interpretations are given first, followed by the more compelling but enriching paradox of this enigmatic card. In a you now position, this card means you are at a crossroads and may have to stand back and look carefully at all the issues involved, or it may mean that you simply get out of a rut. You are in limbo about what you want to do next, or you're going through a ceasefire in a relationship clash. The Hanged Man also warns you about whether to make sacrifices or not. Fine if you are ready to give up a bad influence in your life, but think clearly. Have others really manipulated you, or have you chosen to be a victim? If chosen as a future card, you will undergo a change of mind and will have to readjust your feelings in order to forge ahead with your plans. The complexity of the Hanged Man invites you to do exactly the opposite of what you think is right to do, and thereby gain results. For example, you might be dying to call that fascinating stranger to go on a date, but are terrified they'll turn you down. If you draw the Hanged Man, it's more likely you'll go out on that date if you don't make the phone call. The more you want something, the more you have to give up on the wanting, and then it will happen. The paradox is that as soon as you make these contradictory moves, you find what you are actually seeking. Finally, the Hangman says that it is time to let go of emotional baggage, and that you will soon be released from any pain or emotional hurt because you are opening your mind to living for the moment, not for the past. Dark Night of the Soul. Next we have the Death card. Arcana 13. Zodiac Affinity. Scorpio. Keywords: change, new beginnings, endings, transformation. Key phrases: the end of an old cycle and the beginning of a new one. Let go of the past. Don't fear being true to yourself. One door closes, another opens. A parting of the ways. Accepting the inevitable. Getting down to the nitty-gritty. Accepting the cycles of change. Interpretation. This card often alarms people, but please don't take it literally. This is the one card in the pack upon which we project our greatest fears. But death is a positive card in all positions, and remember, it is an archetypal energy concerned with transition from one state to another. Something ends, something else begins, and gives you a chance to embrace change rather than fear it. When death appears in a spread, it simply implies that something has reached the end of a cycle. It could be a love affair, a job, or a belief system that now needs to undergo some kind of transformation. When in the you now position, death can imply that you are in the process of changing your life, but are perhaps concerned about the consequences. You might secretly want to end a love relationship, but can't bear to hurt someone, or you need to change something about your life so that you can unleash your true potential. In the blockage position, you fear change so much that you are stifled by that fear. Death here can also imply that changing circumstances are blocking your personal vision and that you are confused about the next stage of your journey. Always relate this card directly to your question, issue, or self-development mission, because then it will be more obvious what needs to change. As a future card, embrace the changes that are coming your way. The Sunset Roads of Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. Okay. Next, we have the Temperance card. Arcana 14. Zodiac Affinity. Sagittarius. Keywords: self-control, compromise, moderation, virtue. The blending of ideas. Key phrases: the blending of ideas, harmony and understanding. Moderation is the key to success. Alchemical process, recognizing cooperation, healing energy. Interpretation. Whenever you draw this card, good management of your relationship or personal world is in process. Although on the surface this card seems rather uninspiring or static, its underlying message is that through finding the middle way, you will achieve your goals. There is harmony between your desires and your needs, and you are mentally and emotionally in balance. This card often implies that if you moderate your indulgences, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, you will find equilibrium and balance. If you are trying to make a decision, you will find a solution, and it will be much easier to see another person's point of view. As a You Now card, your self-control and willingness to compromise are a good influence on others. As a blockage card, it can mean that you are too willing to compromise. Trying to please everyone apart from yourself is at the root of your current issue or concern. Also, it can indicate that someone you know is just being too good to be true, and they may not realize that you need their difference of opinion as well as their cooperation. As a future card, you will have to moderate your desires and try to see both sides of an argument. The clarification of your true goals or aspirations is coming your way. There will soon be clarity, harmony, and mutual respect, and healing energy for any existing emotional wounds or confusions will be generated by your search for the happy medium. Okay. Next here, we have the Devil card. Arcana 15, Zodiac Affinity, Capricorn. Keywords: bondage, materialism, living a lie, temptation. Key phrases: ignorance in relationship, thirst for money or power, unconscious reactions, childlike responses, self-imposed bondage, being obsessed, relinquishing control, chained to addictive patterns of behavior, manipulation by others, negative thinking, limited perception, generalization, interpretation. The devil archetype is all that is apparently bad in a world where we constantly search for the good. The word devil derives from the Greek word diablos, which simply means adversary. In fact, it is our own inner devil who is usually the cause of most of our problems, generated by our lack of consciousness, by ignorance or illusions. The devil appears when we are literally in the dark. The positive aspect of the devil is that the card asks us to accept our limitations, to develop awareness of self and others, and to understand that we may be literally bound and chained to a narrow perspective or living under other people's expectations. How often do you hear, he's just like his father? Women are all the same. I can't do that. Power and money will make me happy. This is the real devil in us speaking. Generally, in a layout, the card reveals that you are bound by your fears, belief, or a situation that is unhealthy for you. You may be ignorant of the truth or blinded by illusion. Make sure you are not cheating on your values. When you draw this card, it is timely to question your beliefs, viewpoint, and goals. Whose are they anyway? Yours or someone else's assumptions? When this card is in the you now position, it can simply mean that you are attracted to someone for lust or money, or you are getting involved in a relationship and are confusing sexual desire with love. As a blockage card, the devil suggests that you are living a lie about the current situation. As a future card, you are going to have to fight against the temptations of materialism, power, or self-deception. Take care that you are not led astray by someone who wants to take control over you or assert their power. Sometimes this card reveals that you are acting without awareness of your actions or the consequences of your actions. The chains that bind. Next we have the Tower. Arcana 16. Zodiac affinity, Mars. Keywords: external disruption, unexpected events, revelation. Keywords: breakdown of the old to herald the new, acceptance that no defense is totally secure, learn to adapt and adjust quickly, suddenly seeing the truth of the matter, dramatic upheaval, having a change in fortune, unexpected challenges, chaos all around you. Interpretation: there is or will be change in an unexpected and external manner when this card appears in a layout. This change appears as an outside catalyst, and we feel we are not responsible for the disruption. But the disruption is usually liberating, and it can free us from restriction and open us to fresh viewpoints. In a sense, it is the catalyst needed to break free from the self-imposed chains of the previous card, the devil. Whatever happens can seem as if it is fated, that you are not responsible, but the Tower represents a structure you have built securely around yourself, your defense system, a crumbling old lighthouse, warning danger. Sometimes locked within the many rooms of your lighthouse or tower are things that need throwing out, a declutter of emotions and feelings that no longer serve your current purpose. The Tower's lightning strike is there to remind us that something needs to change. The inner world is just as unsafe as the outer, and now is the time to be catapulted into awareness and be liberated from the old and worn out. The Tower reveals that there is usually a catalyst or outside influence which comes into your life to instigate those changes. It can be either a person or a set of circumstances of which you feel you are not in control. It can either be liberating or uncomfortable, but you will now have the necessary strength to adapt and move on. This card asks you to welcome new challenges rather than avoid them. Rebuild from renewed strength and reach a new level of understanding about yourself and your situation. In the you now position, it seems that there is chaos all around you. As a blockage card, the Tower signifies your refusal to see the truth, the destruction of self, and the edge of the abyss. Star card, Arcana 17, Zodiac affinity, Aquarius. Keywords: inspiration, ideal love, truth revealed. Key phrases: realization of a dream. insight, and self-belief are essential for happiness. Seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Knowing you are going to be successful. Freely giving of yourself in love. Idealization of a person or goal. Visionary progress. New trust in a relationship. Interpretation. The star represents all the heavenly bodies that guide us across land and seas. The ancients used the stars to navigate unknown waters, and the archetype of the star provides you with your own personal shining light that will allow you to navigate successfully through life. When you draw this card, your powers of self-expression are at their highest. You feel in touch with universal energy, and there is hope and belief in the future. In the You Now position, this card is all about having an optimistic attitude. If you really believe and trust in yourself, you can create your own opportunities. This card is beneficial in any layout and indicates success in love, work, or financial aspiration. As a future card, it reveals that a revelation is about to come to you in the nicest possible way. You will regain your motivation, experience peace of mind, and enjoy a better sense of who you are and where you're going. The star gives you permission to navigate wherever you want to go, but remember, this is a card of inspiration. It does not give practical solutions. So you must look to the other cards in the layout to guide you further. The only downside to this card is when it is in the blockage position, where it indicates that your ideals and expectations are so high that no one, not even you, can live up to them. The guiding light of renewal. Notice this is after the Tower. I was kind of hesitating with that one. Not so much hesitating, reading silently to myself, because that's a card for me that I have it's a challenge for me. Because some of the cards, you know, the pictures are very obvious as to what is the message is. And some of them are not, and this is one that's not for me. So that's why I was kind of reading slow, kind of soaking in what I was reading. Next we have the Moon card, Arcana 18, Zodiac Affinity, Pisces. Keywords, intuition, fear, self-deceit, and illusion. Key phrases, tricky love affair, blind to the truth, unrealistic dreams, feeling confused, feeling worried and apprehensive, trusting your intuition, losing touch with reality. Interpretation, a complex card because its very nature is deceptive. The moon is very concerned with our sense of belonging or safety and security. When you are in familiar surroundings or with people you know, you feel safe. But there are times when we experience the darker side of our own natures, the unknown shadowy bits trying to see the light of day. This can make us feel disoriented, afraid, vulnerable, or anxious. The moon needs expression, and when it occurs in a layout, the positive aspect of the moon is to trust in those deeper realms and to remember that mystery permeates life at all times, although we usually refuse to acknowledge it. The illusion of the moon is simply that, and the advice is not to let self-deception and distortion of the truth lead you astray or away from your purpose. You have a goal, so stick to it. In the You Now position, you may feel confused or unsure of what to do next. The moon says to find your way, however hard it seems, or identify your fears. Trust in your instincts. Interpret this card as a warning that things may not be all they seem. Maybe you are wrong, your judgment is unsound, or someone is taking advantage of you. To fathom this one, try to tap into your intuition rather than your imagination, because they are very different. As a blockage card, the moon suggests that your insecurities are holding you back, that you don't feel you belong to anything or anyone, maybe not even to yourself. As a future card, someone will be dishonest, either yourself or a partner or friend. The moon also indicates that you are so wrapped up in your emotions and feelings that you don't have a clear, rational view of a matter. The silver road of shadow and tides. You know, I always would hear this about it being secrets. You know, I don't necessarily see that here in the interpretation here in this book, but nevertheless, moving on. All right, next card, the Sun card, Arcana 19, Zodiac Affinity, the Sun. Okay. Keywords, communication, sharing, happiness, joy, positive energy, creativity, growth. Key phrases: accomplishment and love, new friendship, feeling enlightened, positive accomplishment, believing in yourself, self-confidence, being the center of attention, shining under the spotlight. As a You Now card, the sun implies that it is time to communicate your feelings and express your dreams. This is a positive card and always signifies success and happiness. Where the star gives us inspiration and direction, the sun illuminates us with positive thoughts about how we can manifest those goals or dreams. The sun is the source of all life on this earth. Without it, we wouldn't be here. The archetypal sun represents courage, energy, insight, and getting to the heart of a matter. With this card, we can illuminate our lives with clarity and truth rather than hide in the dark shadows of the moon. The sun encourages us to move on and leave those shadows behind. In reality, your shadow will always be with you, but when standing in the midday sun, you hardly know it's there. You feel alive, brazen, prominent, regal. If you have a relationship issue in the You Now position, the sun signifies that you can accept your friend or partner for who they are rather than trying to change them or vice versa. As a future card, you can expect to be happier, fun-loving, and liberated from past doubts and fears. Possibly a new fulfilling relationship will begin, not necessarily an intimate one, but one that will have a positive effect on your life. As a blockage card, you may be exaggerating how happy you are, only looking at the surface of a relationship, or so concerned about personal glory that you aren't aware of the needs of others. Right. The light of truth. Okay, let's move on. Next we have the Judgment card, Arcana 20, Zodiac Affinity, Pluto. Keywords: liberation, judgment, inner calling, transformation. Key phrases: accounting for past actions, revaluation and revival, dropping old values, embracing new ones, accepting things the way they are. There is no one to blame, not even yourself. Interpretation. There are two types of judgment. One where we judge others unkindly or unfairly by saying things like, "You are no good," or "I disapprove of your actions." And the other kind, which does not condemn, but attempts to weigh up the matter and to find out the truth. When we draw judgment in a layout, it signifies the latter, that we must make choices and do so without blaming ourselves and others. Judgment implies that you can liberate yourself from old attitudes, whether toward a lover, your family, or patterns of behavior that haven't been right for you. You have new insight into how to handle your relationships. It's fine to shrug your shoulders and think, what's the point? But this is your chance to start afresh. Let go of the past and stop feeling guilty for your actions. As a blockage card, you are likely to feel guilty in some way for something or feel judged by others. Perhaps it's time to think about whether you are in the wrong or whether you are taking too much responsibility for someone else's happiness. As a future card, you will have to make decisions by facing up to the facts rather than avoiding them with judgment. You can at last let go. With judgment, you can at last get off the fence, make choices, and wake up to new possibilities. There is a feeling of a weight being taken off your shoulders and the ability to forgive yourself or someone else for past mistakes. The call to awakening. And the last card in the major arcana here, the World card. Arcana 21, Zodiac Affinity, Saturn. Keywords: completion, fulfillment, freedom, cosmic love, freedom from fear. Key phrases. Can't get it to lean. There it is. Oh, that's good. Key phrases: reward for hard work, time for celebration of self and others, feeling the world is your oyster, traveling both physically and mentally, accomplishing what you set out to achieve, discovering a solution, feeling at one with yourself and the universe. The world isn't always a positive card in any layout. It signifies that you are becoming more aware of, no, let me change that. Excuse me. The world is always a positive card in any layout. I was thinking that don't make sense. It hit me. Okay, I misread that. All right. It signifies that you are becoming more aware of who you are, your limitations, your choices, and taking responsibility for yourself. In the you now position, it means you are coming to terms with yourself, your sense of individual value, and how you relate to others. The world can also mean you've met the ultimate partner, found the perfect vocation, and there is no turning back. Whatever the cost involved, you know that you have to move forward, turn down another pathway, and follow the signposts. As a blockage card, you could be too convinced that everything is going well, or you are simply indulging in too much wishful thinking. You may need to ask yourself questions such as, what is my true potential? Who am I? What do I need to wake up to? You may be seeing only what you want to see or living by others' expectations of how you should behave. Perhaps it's time to take a more objective look at yourself and your goals. As a future card, you can look forward to success in relationships and all creative enterprises. Sometimes this card is interpreted as the world is yours. You might be about to embark on a trip of a lifetime, whether literally around the world or into a new venture. In all kinds of ways, you're expanding your horizons both emotionally and physically, and you know that if you follow the right path, your future happiness will be assured. The cycles of completion and beginning. All right, the World card. That ends the major arcana. Next, we will go into the minor arcana, beginning, well, first we're going to talk about understanding the minor arcana as I'm looking here in the book, and then we will begin with what? In this book, after we talk about that, the wands. All right. All right, y'all be blessed. Peace.